Joining us now on the line, we get another very special guest here on Breitbart News Tonight from the Immigration Reform Law Institute. He is IRLI's Executive Director and General Counsel, Dale Wilcox. Dale, thanks for joining us here tonight on Breitbart News Tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you guys have a massive investigation that's going to come out tomorrow. Can you give a Montgomery County, Maryland, and some things about Montgomery County and local officials and trying to give the runaround to ICE agents that are trying to keep the community safe? Can you tell us about what's going on, what's going to be forthcoming tomorrow with this Montgomery County, Maryland investigation?
Yeah, sure. Well, my organization, for those that don't know, is a public interest law firm, and we represent the rights and interests of the American people from the negative effects of mass migration and illegal immigration. So part of what we do is we monitor and expose sanctuary cities around the country. And here recently, we were looking into Montgomery County, Maryland, which is a suburb of D.C. That's controlled by leftists. No surprise there. It's a sanctuary city and a notorious sanctuary city. They're in fact, even worse than the state of California, and New York and some other notorious sanctuary states and cities throughout those states.
Yeah, I used to live in Rockville in Bethesda. I'll tell you, it's worse than D.C., okay? Like, I live in D.C., Rockville, Bethesda, Montgomery County, worse than D.C. when it comes to lawlessness. But anyway, it's awful out there. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so Montgomery County, if you remember, last year doubled down on their sanctuary policy. They will not turn anyone over to ICE. They will not notify ICE when they're releasing illegal aliens who have been picked up for various crimes, and we're talking serious crimes. And if you remember last July when they doubled down on their policy, within 2 months of doubling down, they had 10 sexual assaults by illegal aliens. The people were just outraged, and the public officials wouldn't do anything about it. They were claiming that those complaining were neo-Nazis. And then the public got together, went down to the county building and held huge protests. And the public officials felt the pressure, and finally they reversed their policy and said publicly, okay, we will hold people for ICE. And what happens is when an individual is picked up for a crime, their fingerprints are taken by the local jails. That's sent to the FBI to check their background, and FBI shares that with the Department of Homeland Security. And if it's an illegal alien, Department of Homeland Security will send what's called a detainer request to the local jurisdiction and say, hold them for 48 hours. We want them to remove them from the country. Previously, Montgomery County would not comply with detainer requests. They just ignored it. It didn't matter if the person committed murder. They were just letting people go. Well, after the uprising, the public uprising last year, they said they reversed their policy. So we took a good look at them here lately to see if they were keeping to their word. And the investigation that we will release tomorrow found that, they're notifying ICE, but what they're doing is they're giving ICE no time to get there to get the alien. So under the regulations, ICE asks for 48 hours. Hold that alien for 48 hours so we can get somebody down to your jail to pick them up. We found in our investigation that they are giving ICE less than a half an hour sometimes to come and pick up rapists. It's just incredible that this jurisdiction is thumbing their nose at the public again, pulling the wool over people's eyes, saying, "Oh yeah, we're not a sanctuary jurisdiction any longer. We're complying. We're notifying ICE, but they're not giving ICE enough notice to get there to apprehend these individuals."
So kind of walk through the process with us. So somebody, let's say hypothetically, this illegal alien gets picked up on an alleged crime that they that they committed like a murder or a rape or something like that, whatever. Allegedly, we're using a hypothetical example here, so we don't have to say allegedly. So they're charged with a murder or a rape, right? Like random illegal alien one, and then they go in and they probably get they get bailed out or something, or and then the local officials don't hold them until such time as what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to follow that detainer request and hold the person for 48 hours. But it sounds like while they are notifying ICE and sending the detainer request over, they're not holding the person until ICE can get there to get them. And if they're an illegal alien and they're charged with a crime, then they go into federal custody. What can ICE do? So just kind of explain the logistics here of the process.
That's right. You're correct. What happens is most of the time they're bonded out. So they bond out and they disappear into the interior. They don't show up for their hearing and they escape justice. We've seen instances all over the country where illegal aliens have been picked up for local crimes. ICE has submitted a detainer request, and local jurisdictions have ignored that detainer request, and the alien just absconds. They disappear into the interior. And then eventually... And
they probably change their identity or something, right? Like in some cases.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so they will bond out and disappear. Before, Montgomery County would not, people who are actually in their jails serving time, when they were being released after they served their sentence, Montgomery County would not even notify ICE then. Hey, this individual has finished serving their, time for their state crime. You can come get them now, to remove them from the country because they're not supposed to be here. And they're just going to, victimize more Americans when they go back into their local communities, and especially immigrants. They're victimizing the immigrant communities. Federal statistics show the Bureau of Justice Statistics, around 68% of released prisoners wind up being rearrested within 3 years, 76% within 5 years. So these state and local jurisdictions are releasing these criminal aliens back out into the communities to commit more crimes on Americans and even legal immigrants and other illegal aliens in their community.
Right. So now, if an ICE agent was able to get there and then take that person into custody after, let's say in a community that actually does follow the rules, right? Like, so let's use another hypothetical example. I don't know. Find a community in Texas that actually does follow the rules, unlike Montgomery County, Maryland. And the ICE agent shows up, takes them into custody within the 48 hours. What happens at that point? Does the person get deported? Do they stay in federal custody while they face charges? Or explain that, how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, they would stay in federal custody. Sometimes the feds will hold the alien for the local jurisdiction, and they will go through their state court trial. Say they committed murder. They will end up serving time for that. Sometimes, if the person is particularly heinous, the federal immigration authorities will just get rid of them. They'll deport them out of the country so that they won't victimize anyone else again. So it depends on the situation. It can go either way. But sadly, a lot of these people who bond out don't show up again. They just disappear because they have fake identities to begin with. They're living under a fake identity, so they just change identities. They just disappear.
It's really remarkable. And so what we're finding, again, with what you guys have coming out tomorrow, these new documents and information and data from the county shows that what they're doing is, while they are technically now notifying ICE, they're doing it, just a few minutes before they end up releasing the person. And so that an ICE agent, literally, if they left the second they got the notification to head over to the facility to pick up the person, they wouldn't get there in time. And then all of a sudden they're in the wind 15 minutes later, right? Like, and there's no way to find them again. That's
what's happening. I mean, it's a cynical attempt to claim that they're cooperating, but they're not. Effectively, they're just, for public appearances, to keep the politicians out of hot water. Yeah, we're cooperating. We're notifying them. And then they just open the door and, okay, criminal alien, be on your way. And go forth and, prey on your community again. So it's particularly disturbing with Montgomery County. I mean, after they instituted their sanctuary policy, not surprisingly, shortly thereafter, we saw this incredible crime spree. And we've seen rapes. And in fact, sexual assault, an illegal alien admitted to just this past fall. He admitted sexually assaulting a 6-year-old. Threatened her not to tell anybody, or she would be grounded for 100 days. One of the other cases there was a 16-year-old, and then another. Yeah,
it's absolutely disgusting.
11-year-old.
Absolutely disgusting, Dale. Absolutely disgusting. And look, and the left trying to go after ICE agents who are trying to protect us. It's just absolutely disgusting. Dale, we're out of time, brother. So we really want to thank you for joining us. I know we'll have some big stories on this. I know our reporters are working on it. So we'll have lots of big stories on what you guys have coming tomorrow. So really want to thank you.